All right, what's up everybody? Landan with LMR.com. We have Jared's 89 Florida Highway Patrol SSP car in the studio today, and we are going to be reinstalling the AC system back onto this car. When Jared purchased it, time of this video, 4 some odd years ago, it did not have AC. All those components were removed, and in its place was, I believe, a old school Ford Racing AC delete kit, which was good for us because we knew exactly what we needed to get all the AC components reinstalled onto this car. All right, so kind of the package of parts that we used for this car. We used a 5.0 Resto R134A conversion kit that gives us pretty much everything to put the AC system on the car with the exception of brackets. So you'll still need condenser brackets. You'll still need an AC compressor harness if yours is missing. You'll also need a pressure switch pigtail if yours is just too far gone or somebody has cut it. Tuck that harness away, name your scenario. You wanna go ahead and get the AC accessory brackets and the hardware. It'd be the big bracket here that bolts to the front of the engine, that smaller stamped bracket on the back side of the compressor, and then you have that cast aluminum bracket that bolts to the cylinder head. So what we're not gonna show you in today's video, we're not gonna show vacuuming down the system prior to charging it just to make sure it's holding the vacuum, and then we're also not going to talk about charging it. We recommend taking that to a licensed HVAC technician to have that done. We do have some videos on those topics. We'll leave a link to them down in the video description. We also have a more formalized video on the R134A conversion kit that we put on the silver 93LX hatch, where kind of all these components get installed as well in a more kind of step-by-step fashion. We'll leave a link to that video down in the description as well. Before we get rolling on this, again, I'm probably beating a dead horse here, but I cannot reiterate enough. You may find yourself in a situation that's different than what we're showing on this video. So all I can recommend you do is study your situation, watch this video a few times, and watch that formalized R134A conversion video and just get yourself acclimated with a Fox Body air conditioning system. So some things you want to keep in mind when doing this type of stuff, you're going to have to clock these hoses. You know, just because they're brand new doesn't mean that they're going to, sit nice and even with the associated connection point. So you will have to carefully clock some of these hard lines to get them situated correctly. And because we're reinstalling the accumulator bracket back onto this car, we also had to clock the fitting coming out of the firewall. You may have to do the same. If you do that, just take an appropriate width socket, slide it down to the connection, and use a extension for some leverage, and just kind of gently work those connections to where they'll situate where you need them. All right, everybody, so AC reinstall. I've already done a few things here. I'll walk you through what I did. First things first, support the car, remove the front bumper. We have a video on how to remove a front bumper. We'll leave a link to it down in the video description. Once you get the front bumper off, you can kind of start assessing and addressing what you have here to work with in the front. For us, well, we need to put the condenser back in place, so that's what we're doing. It still had the factory lower brackets. I'm removing those because we have new ones. But the way I like to do the condenser is install the lower brackets. Before we install the condenser, I'm going to add a little bit of PAG oil to either one of the connections here. And it's good that you pay attention to your components. We'll talk about this throughout the video, but the compressor that's used in these kits has a sticker right here on the compressor itself. It is pre-charged with 3 ounces of oil. A R134A system in a Fox Body Mustang takes about 6 to 8, okay? So if this has 3, you can count your condenser, your discharge line, your liquid line, and your accumulator with line as 4 other pieces. So this has 3. If we want to put 8, that leaves us with 5 ounces. So give or take, we'll add an ounce to each one of the other components in the system. So condenser, liquid line, accumulator with line, and then the discharge line. That's about as simple as I can put it. And when you do this, if you want to get scientific with it, get you a little measuring cup, or a syringe would even work better. That way you can go right down in there. But you want to make sure you lubricate your O-rings as well. These little clips that you'll see pre-installed in quick connect type fittings, this is to retain the garter spring. There is a spring down in these connections. You can kind of see it in there. That is called a garter spring. So whenever the female side of the quick connect comes through, that is what helps keep tension to lock that into place. And that's what these are doing. If you want to pull these off, you can pull them off, throw them in the trash. What you'll see a lot of people do is they'll stay there and then when they go to install the line onto the condenser, the female side, once it's seated, this will just pop off and it'll float and do whatever it does on the line that's connected to these ports. Situate it into place, set it down on those lower brackets, and then you can remove your radiator brackets or your radiator hold down, whatever you have. Lean the radiator towards the engine, and then you can install those new speed clips and then the upper brackets. By the way, all these brackets are only gonna go one way. And we also have a video on the condenser brackets. We'll leave a link to that one down in the description as well. But depending on the condenser, every single one of them is just gonna slightly differ. The mounts that are attached to the side of the condenser that get situated in the rubber isolators on the condenser brackets. These may contact the isolators the way they are out of the box, or you may have to squeeze these brackets in order to kind of push either the top ones up or the bottom ones down to get them to seat better in their rubber isolator. I went about it kind of the long way. I drilled out the lower rivets that were securing the tabs to the condenser, moved them down a notch, and then reinstalled the condenser, and that gave me enough placement within the rubber isolator for the condenser to sit the way it needs to sit. Over here on your fittings, or the tubes for the fittings, make sure they clear the core supports. If you have to, these can be carefully clocked in order to clear this portion. This is gonna differ as well from car to car. If you get it clocked enough to where they're still making contact, just take you some vacuum hose, cut it down the middle, and then wrap your tubing with it. That way you don't have metal on metal contact. But once you get the condenser resituated, you can reinstall the radiator hold down plate or the factory style brackets, whatever it is that you're using. And once you check that box, we can move into the accessory drive brackets. This car actually had an old school Ford Racing AC delete kit on it, so it kind of wasn't hodgepodge or anything like that. Talk about everybody's situation is going to be different. The accessory drive stuff can definitely be that way. But what I did first, I removed the electric fan setup on this car. You're going to have to do the same, be it electric fan or the factory clutch fan and shroud. Get that out of the way, that way you have plenty of room to work. But where I started, I removed the bolts that were securing the power steering pump bracket to that AC delete kit, and then I carefully set the power steering pump aside. If you want to create some sort of fancy, hold setup or suspension type setup, go with it as you will, but I just gently set it on the lower radiator hose, and that worked for me. Then I removed that Ford Racing bracket and just did some generalized cleaning. After that, I kind of studied the brackets I had to put back on, which is the big stamped steel bracket here in the front, the cast bracket that bolts to the cylinder head, and then this other stamp bracket that attaches to the back of the AC compressor and the cast bracket. And what we referenced to get all this in place was the 5.0 Resto accessory drive hardware diagram. This kind of helped us make sense of where all this hardware needs to go. But where you'll start first, you'll start with the cast bracket, secure it to the cylinder head, then you'll install this long stud for the upper hole in the power steering pump bracket. Once that stud is installed, you can fully tighten that back bolt, securing the cast bracket to the cylinder head. After that, I situated the big stamped steel bracket into place. It's only going to go on one way. You'll have to kind of position it over the studs and the water pump, and then you will align these holes with the lower hole on the power steering pump bracket and get that long bolt threaded all the way through into that rearward cast bracket. Leave all this hardware loose. Back on the bench, we installed the rear stamped steel bracket to the compressor. Those bolts can be fully tightened. And then to install the compressor onto the rearward cast bracket, you'll start the inboard bolt first, since that stamp bracket has a slot in it. And so once you get that bolt started, you can situate the compressor, then install your other bolts here on the outboard side. Once that's complete, you can start installing all your miscellaneous bolts that fasten all this stuff together. So you'll have your upper AC compressor bolt here at the front and your lower AC compressor bolt at the front. You'll have your washer and nut that's securing the power steering pump and all that to the stud, and then the nuts that were attaching this stamped steel bracket to the water pump. Once all that's situated, then you can fully tighten everything. Okay, so with the compressor situated, go ahead and install the manifold service attachments. Pretty much all new compressors arrive with block-off plates, so you'll have to remove those first. Wipe the mating surfaces on the compressor, lubricate the O-rings, and then install each service attachment to the compressor. The attachment with the frontward-facing charge port will install on the suction side. Tighten the bolts just past the point of snug. It's kind of hard to explain on video, but you'll know what I'm referring to whenever you do it. Okay, so depending on your setup, you'll more than likely have to remove the air intake from the car in order to install the liquid line. Add some oil and lubricate the O-rings. Situate this hose into position and fully engage the fitting on the condenser. This will be the lower fitting. To confirm it's properly seated, pull out on the hose. You'll want to leave it loose from the evaporator since we still have to install the accumulator into place. All right, so next up is the discharge line. Add oil and lubricate the O-rings. I think it's also good practice to lubricate the inside area of the service attachment as well. Get this line situated and screw on the B-nut to the service attachment first. Do this by hand and make sure that it threads cleanly. Fully engage the other end of the discharge line into the upper fitting on the condenser. Make sure it's fully seated. All right, have the accumulator and this line up on the table. We will have to install a new accumulator bracket. This is going to attach to the studs coming to the firewall for the HVAC box. You'll slide this into place. I've already installed the speed nut into place. You'll just take the long screw that's provided in the kit. We sell this on the site, and we can get this loosely installed. We won't fully tighten it just yet. We'll do that once we get it on the car. And then these studs, I mean, you'll see them whenever you set this in the car. Kind of tough to see it here on camera just due to the location. But you'll work this down here into its spot, and you'll see the left-hand stud here, and then the other stud for the HVAC box is just behind the heater hose. I'm gonna run these retaining nuts down. We'll get these tight. Now that the bracket is tight, install the liquid line into the evaporator and verify it's fully engaged. Rotate the accumulator in the bracket and slide the line into the evaporator. Thread the B-nut by hand, and since this is somewhat in a fixed position, fully tighten it. Just like the other connections with O-rings, you'll just want to go a little past snug. Install the pressure switch and tighten it down. Clean the end of the connector if it's dirty and connect it. Route the accumulator line around, above, or below the upper intake. Depending on the intake that you have, this will vary from car to car. Place the end of the line into the service attachment and thread the B-nut by hand. You can go ahead and fully tighten this one as well. The connector for the AC harness is located underneath the coil cover. Remove it if you haven't done so already. Clean it up and connect the harness. Route it toward the compressor and connect it. Now you want to go back over all your connections one more time just for the peace of mind and make sure everything's tight and fully engaged. Reinstall the stuff you removed for working room, so the air intake as well as the fan. This is also going to include the front bumper. Route the new belt and just because, give everything one good final once over. And depending on the length of belt, that's going to determine the other accessory drive components as well. All right, everybody, so that's a wrap on the AC reinstall into Jared's '89 Florida Highway Patrol SSP car. Kind of just reiterating again, what we showed today was the scenario we were in. Everybody's scenario may slightly differ. You may have more accessory drive stuff missing. You just don't know until you get out to your car, you start studying what you have. All we need to do is vacuum this down, make sure it holds vacuum, then we can get it charged up, and then Jared will have some nice cold AC again. If y'all find value in what we do, please consider liking the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and then until we see you in the next one, for all things Fox Body Mustang, keep it right here with the real enthusiasts, LMR.com.